In every age, humans search for meaning. We look for stories that explain our existence, stories that guide us through uncertainty, stories that give us hope. Some people find meaning in religion, some in nations or traditions, some in movements and ideologies, and unexpectedly, millions of people around the world found meaning in a line of code called Bitcoin. But why? Why would something as technical, as emotionless, as purely mathematical spark passion, loyalty, and even faith? To understand Bitcoin, look not at the price. Look at the behavior of the people. They speak of HODLing like monks speak of discipline. They wait for the halving the way others wait for holidays. They gather in online communities, the same way ancient tribes gathered around fire. They repeat cycles. They follow rhythms. They share expectations. This is not just investing. This is ritual. Rituals give us structure. They tell us that chaos is temporary, that cycles repeat, that there is order even when the world feels unstable. Bitcoin's rituals mirror something deeply human, the desire for certainty in an unpredictable world. Humans are storytelling creatures. We navigate life through narratives. We build civilizations not on facts, but on shared beliefs. Money has always been a story. Gold is valuable because we agree it is. Paper money works because we trust the issuer. Economies run because we collectively believe in numbers on a screen. Bitcoin enters this ancient lineage as a new kind of story, one of the most powerful stories of our generation. It tells a story of fairness in a world that doesn't always feel fair, a story of scarcity in a world drowning in excess, a story of freedom in systems built on control. And once people embrace this story, it changes the way they see everything: time, value, independence, even identity. Critics say Bitcoin is backed by nothing. But look deeper, so is everything else. Gold is belief. Banks are trust. Governments are authority. All money, every kind, is a mirror of what humans choose to value. Bitcoin simply offers a different mirror, one that cannot be altered by politics, one that cannot be printed at will, one that cannot disappear because a banker made a mistake, one that reflects mathematics, not emotions. In this sense, Bitcoin becomes more than currency. It becomes a psychological revolution, a way to reclaim control over one's value. In a world where individuals often feel powerless, we live in an era of noise, information overload, economic instability, changing governments, a global sense of unpredictability. In such times, people seek something stable, not just financially, but emotionally. Bitcoin offers something rare, a sense of agency, a sense of sovereignty, a sense that your value is not held hostage by a corporation, a government, or a bank but by yourself. For many, Bitcoin becomes a quiet anchor in a chaotic world, a protest against systems that feel unfair, a statement that their time, their work, their savings are worth protecting. Why do people defend Bitcoin with such passion? Because it becomes part of who they are. It represents independence. It represents rebellion. It represents intelligence, choosing mathematics over manipulation. Bitcoin gives individuals a symbolic identity. I am sovereign. I am free. I decide the value of my work. Behind Bitcoin lies one of the strongest online communities in the world. A global tribe, a movement that crosses borders, religions, languages, and politics. People who may never meet are suddenly united by a shared belief, a shared struggle, a shared dream. This community creates meaning. Memes become symbols. Podcasts become classrooms. Twitter threads become scripture. And the network becomes a living organism, fueled by millions of minds. Every civilization survives through myth. Not myth as in fiction, but myth as in guiding ideas. Bitcoin becomes a myth of the digital age, a myth of fairness, a myth of decentralization, a myth of technological truth. Whether or not Bitcoin becomes the world's reserve currency is almost irrelevant to the philosophical question. Its deeper purpose is this: it gives humanity a new story about how value could work in the future. People don't defend Bitcoin because they worship the price. They defend it because they recognize the idea inside it, a world where value isn't dictated. It's discovered where wealth isn't printed. It's earned where rules aren't changed. They're enforced equally, where meaning doesn't come from authority, but from choice. In the end, Bitcoin is not just code. It is a reflection of us, our fears, our hopes, our frustration with the old system, and our desire for something better, revealing what we truly value and what we dream the future might be. And perhaps that is why Bitcoin endures. Not because of markets, not because of profits, but because it touches something timeless inside us. Our endless search for meaning,